Again. The last time I tried to do this video about 10 minutes ago or so, it was kind of fuzzy on my end. I couldn't see what was kicking out. So seems to be fixed this go. So I'm going to get right into it. As always, I am, for this stream anyways, my persona is Kollector, a little name I came up with that is an homage to 80s fantasy tropes. Sounds like a barbarian that could have actually existed during that time of that treasured time of fantasy cinema. There was a lot of great flicks that came out of that period. But anyhow, I digress. Kollector, of course, is to speak to my hobby of one of my hobbies of collecting. As you can see in the background, all my accoutrements, things I've amassed over the years. A lot of video games, statues, Funko Pops, etc., etc. Just really anything that's really geeky and cool. I mean, I love posters and things too, but you only have so much real estate on your wall. Eventually, you run out of room. Also with shelving and the like. So I'm pretty much at a saturation point, but it doesn't stop me. Just means, you have to make those Sophie's choices and put things on the chopping block. And I felt compelled to do a stream tonight because I've been, I was trying to get, as my other persona, Retronathan, trying to get that going on Fridays at 7 Eastern Standard. Thing is, a lot of things just keep popping up around that time. And like this past Friday, I originally was going to go to a poker game, but I ended up on a little date with my daughter. We went to go see Have Fun, Good Luck, Don't Die, or Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, however you phrase the title of that movie. A lot of fun. What is it? Sam Rockwell, is that his name? He killed it. Whatever his name, I can't. The main guy. Very frenetic energy. Somebody nicely summarized it as 12 Monkeys meets Groundhog Day, and I tend to agree with that assessment. I think it had that kind of vibe to it. Little taste of AI, little bit of the Matrix here. Very fun movie. I'd give it like a B plus. It was well done. So anyhow, it's been a little while, and I figured I'd go through some things. I don't have much to go through tonight, but I was gonna wait for like this big package that I'm expecting from Limited Run Games. It's been a long time coming because there's a lot that I grouped together in that shipment, but I'll get to that another time. I just wanted to go ahead and get cracking because I've had a few things I've been sitting on for maybe a couple months now or so. So figured it was time to get right to it. All right, so I'm gonna start with a this one here, and this is from Amazon. It's a bit of a spoiler alert. They give you the update about what arrived. So usually I tend to forget because I order things from like months ago, especially with the physical format video game companies like Limited Run. They take their orders. This is, some people would say, a problematic business practice where they take the orders well ahead of time to gauge kind of interest, and then that's how many they produce, instead of like producing the thing and then just kind of meeting demand. But anyway, what it amounts to is that it just ends up taking longer for which I don't mind. It just tends to be a nice surprise when it does ultimately get to you. This is something that I had ordered from Amazon quite some time ago, but then it got like canceled and it got delayed and all these things. But I found it in a hardcover, and so, which I thought was pretty cool. It's this Elvira in Horrorland. I love this cover. It is an homage to a classic Nightmare on Elm Street poster. I want to say maybe the original one, but I could be mistaken. So yeah, I just adore Elvira, and it's fun. What is it? Dynamite Comics puts this out, and just fun to have her persona, her kitschy self, kind of get into supernatural shenanigans. I noticed in a comic book store recently there was her pairing up with Harley Quinn, which I thought was pretty fun. It's what I love about comics. They can just go wherever. They're not, well, I mean, they can be restrained by like trademarks and copyright and stuff like that, of course, but usually you're going to see stuff that doesn't get greenlit for the small screen or the big screen. So that's the last what's the word I'm looking for? You're just more likely to get some really fun, wild kind of stuff in comics. All right, so let me see. What else do we got here? All right, something I already opened. What's this slim guy here? This is from the LRG warehouse. Oh, I have an idea of what this is. This LRG being Limited Run Games. I want to say this is a replacement disc for some set that I ordered. But let's have a look here. Yes, Castlevania Dominus Collection, Order of Ecclesia, disc 1. So I don't know if this is a soundtrack disc or what, but they screwed up on something, and so they had to send those out. And of course they encourage you to burn or destroy whatever they sent you if it's a bunk disc, but the collector's gonna collect. All right, this is from Super Rare Games. Love Super Rare Games. They're UK based. One of the better physical media companies trying to keep physical media alive for video games. You can sign up for a special program with them every year where you get word of their releases, or you can get first dibs, and they come with like nice exclusive like slip covers and what have you. I forgot I'd ordered this. It's a little game called Dungeons. Let me take this out here. Dungeons of Hinterberg, I think. It's just in some bubble wrap right now. Seemed like a fun game. Very sort of an action RPG with some interesting kind of cartoony, almost anime-like graphics. So yeah, I just wanted to check that out. I don't buy everything that they put out. Some of their stuff skews a bit outside of my taste, but they do generally have some good releases that I can get behind. Okay, so we've got this here. Ooh, I think I know what this is. So I think this is Limited Rare Games. They're very different. They really lean hard into the whole like FOMO idea, and us collectors, we eat it up. And it looks like I did get a alternate cover for this game that I ordered. LSD Battlefield Simulator. Yeah, so that's interesting. I have no idea what this game is, but it sounded bonkers, and I love some wild conceptual kind of games. And that's this what is it? Super Rare? What do they call themselves again? Limited Rare Games. They do a lot of these type of releases. Basically very niche, independent kind of games that don't have a huge audience, but sort of like Vinegar Syndrome, who I also feature on some of my streams. Vinegar Syndrome is more about preserving, like films, genre films, stuff you might see at the drive-in, people might call schlock or B movies, that don't normally get a lot of love, except for, just people that appreciate cult cinema and the like. So much like Vinegar Syndrome, this limited rare games will basically get the B games of the video game world. So this is the alternate cover there. Pretty cool. Um, yeah, so that's the first time I got an alternate cover from limited rare games. So I'm pretty happy about that. Usually, if you order multiples, I think your chances are probably upped a little bit. So that's what I did. Okay, moving on. This here is I just mentioned Vinegar Syndrome. So I got a little box of goodies from them. I want to say, yeah, I've got two. I'm just going to open one of them now. This is from a prior sale that they had. I think they still have their Valentine's Day sale going on at the moment. Yeah, this is, and they sell also from other boutique dealers as well. Like this is one from Bleeding Skull. It's called the Soul Tangler. I mean, that's a pretty bonkers cover there. You're promised a lot of practical effects and cheesy, kind of gratuitous gore, I think, with this kind of thing. So I snatched it up. Not sight unseen, like I'll read comments, people's reviews and watch a little trailer, and it's like, okay, that seems like something I could enjoy. So I also, at the same sale, bought this one, Hundreds of Beavers. This is a special new slip that they produced, because the original slipcover had sold out. Didn't realize that it was maybe considered a Christmas movie. You got Kris Kringle up on here. This movie I've been meaning to see for some time, and just looks like a lot of fun, very slapsticky, Looney Tunes kind of vibes, it's in black and white. It just looks like insane, and so I'm gonna definitely check that out sometime. All right, what else we got here? This is from Mystery. I can't see. Hopefully it's not something for like my wife or daughter. Sometimes that's happened where I've been sitting on like packages that I assume are for me, and they are not. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, it looks to be okay, this is from VGP, which Video Games Plus, I believe that's what that stands for. Send a little Christmas sticker with it. They are based out of Canada, one of my favorite retailers. They really they stock up on a lot of hard to get titles, and they've got good pricing, and they run sales all the time. They're just a really great retailer that I highly recommend. I bought a couple of copies of this Beyond the Ice Palace, one for the PS5, one for Switch. My preferred system just because of the portability, and Switch is one of my all-time favorite systems. But it's got a lot of Metroidvanias on there, action platformers, and that's exactly what this is. See if you can see some of that sort of Castlevania-esque action there. Definitely heard a lot of good things about that one, and I'm looking forward to playing that, maybe on my Retronathan stream. The thing is, I don't remember hearing about a Beyond the Ice Palace 1, so I don't know if that's just, sometimes with like movies and things, they'll just start right into it and say, hey, yeah, it's part 2, and just to confuse people, or I don't know. In that same order, I also picked up this one, Curse of the Sea Rats, because it looked interesting. Another sort of action platformer, cartoony type of game, but I want to say it was like $8 or something like that. So I was like, sure, why not? Even though I think it wasn't reviewed too well, but I mean, for like $8, I was like, sure. This is another one that was also quite cheap, and just seemed interesting. Again, I think it's more of an action RPG type of game, which I may just kind of keep these sealed because, I keep a lot of my games sealed because collector's going to collect, and then just get them digitally so that I can play them just out of curiosity. All right, let's see. I've got a few more things here. Let's maybe go with this guy. Yeah, cannot see, but this looks to be similar packaging. It's right here. VGP on the bottom. Okay, so another order from VGP, and they pack well. They ship pretty quickly. They're just an all-around solid company. Really dig them. So I want to plug them any chance that I get. Okay, so yeah, I think I went through like sort of clearance items. This one was interesting. This is called Rebel Transmute. I believe, see, it's got the PEGI rating down there, which indicates that it's, out of Europe or the UK. This game, I want to say, is a Metroidvania, very much. I think the style is akin to the OG Metroid game. Seemed like a very cool game that I definitely want to get into. Again, probably keep it sealed and buy it digitally because, I don't mind double dipping. If anything, to support these indie developers, but also the collectability aspect of it, sort of one to collect, one to play. Digitally, I could play all day, kind of thing, unless it gets delisted or my systems don't work anymore. But I think even if it's delisted, you could still download the content if you've already bought it. That's how they've been doing it so far anyway. On that same order, I got a couple of Monkey Ball games. I think these were quite cheap. So I'm like, let's go. I still have an Xbox, and these I don't mind opening. Just seems like some fun, cartoony, arcadey kind of fun to be had. So I'm all about that. All right. Let's see. So I've got this box here. Not sure where this is from. I'm about to find out. And then I'm going to close out with a Vinegar Syndrome, another one of those. Let's see here. Surprise, surprise, more video games. And actually, this was also from Video Games Plus. So, yeah, another Super Monkey Ball, this time for Switch, my preferred system. Road to the Mightiest Oni. Interesting. I think this was another one of those games that was like a flash sale, cheap kind of thing. Maybe $8 or less. I'm glad I ordered this. So, Arzetti, the Jewel of Faramore. This game only got on my radar fairly recently because I believe the creator was at an event that I went to, but I wasn't too terribly interested, and I'm kicking myself because, honestly, if somebody's going to make the trouble to come to an event, it'd be nice to just kind of like get into like whatever they're there for, and maybe you find a new favorite or something. But I found out after the fact that this game is modeled after some of the cheesy action side-scrolling RPG kind of games that came out of like the Philips CDI kind of era, early 90s. CD-ROMs were like huge, but they didn't quite crack the whole animation and lip syncing, and this leans hard into that, and just the cheesy designs and everything. I think it's supposed to be an homage to those notoriously horrible Zelda games that were licensed out to the Philips folks, and they had nobody from Nintendo were involved in the creation of those games, and they were just abysmal from what I have been told, but I haven't touched them because they just look awful. One other game I had in this order was this guy here, Saga of Sins. Again, I think this was just another one of those games that was a flash sale cheap kind of thing. But the unique thing about it, if I'm not mistaken, is I think it is the art style is done like in the way of like a Gothic cathedral window, whatever those windows are called. You know, the kind of that sort of medieval style of art looks pretty rad. Okay, so I mentioned last one here, Vinegar Syndrome. Let's see what we've got in here. Some schlocky good time. I'm sure hours of schlocky good time. You've got the Monster of Camp Sunshine. I mean, how could you not like that cover, right? Like this looks straight out of those classic catalogs where you could order, you know, X-ray vision glasses and, you know, just such a fun slipcover right there. I really dig that. Let's have a look at the movie itself here. So yeah, that just looks like a classic 60s horror kind of deal there. Looks to be in black and white. Anyway, I love a good campy creature feature. This looks to be a combo. You've got Monster of Camp Sunshine and Honeymoon of Terror on there, so should be some fun watches there. Also picked up Don't Go in the Woods. Love that poster, very retro. I want to say this movie came out in like 1980. Never seen it. But, you know, again, I get sold by like reading what people write in their little reviews. And I was like, let's go. I love a good 80s slasher. Grew up, sort of weaned on some of the classics, you know, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and Child's Play and all that stuff. So last one from that order was Vacation of Terror 1 and 2. I want to say, oh yeah, these were, I think, Mexican films. Vacaciones de Terror. Check out that. You know, so obviously going to be some nice practical effects, some creature makeup and costuming. So yeah, that seems to be definitely in my wheelhouse. So I think that about covers it for this. Just a little quickie. It'd been a while. I wanted to, you know, stream, you know, some of the stuff I'd been sitting on for a bit. So there you have it. So again, Johnny B, aka Kollector the Hordarian. And if you popped on by, check me out live on Twitch. Thanks for coming to join me. I'll upload to YouTube as I normally do, where you can find other Retronathan streams as well as my Kollector streams, as that's my other persona where I like to play retro type of games, sometimes bona fide classics, but often games that just evoke that style and you know, the aesthetics or the gameplay. So anyhow, I'm under the Geeks Like Us umbrella. Technically, it's just still kind of there, but it's yeah, the founders, Doctors Kelly and Cannell, are just so busy just having their own practice and focusing on building that and growing, and you know, so they don't have as much time for this as was their side project for a bit there that they so I've been picking up the reins a little bit and just doing my little thing, and nothing extraordinary, just you know, it keeps me on top of, like, you know, going through some of the queue in my games that I mean to get to, and provide some accountability around that. And then it's just kind of fun to go through. It's like Christmas morning, you know, going through all the boxes that I've been waiting to open. So anyhow, I'm yammering. So let me close it out. And as I like to say, keep it geeky, and hope to see you next time. All right, peace out for now.